Hello lovely people and welcome to the Almita Made channel. My name is Alma. I am here to chat about making. I am primarily a sewist with a bit of knitting and other crafts thrown in, but today's vlog is all sewing, I think. Yes, it is. So this is a recent makes vlog. However, it's a gifts edition. I love to sew for other people, and as you watch this, I am literally landing. Yes, I think pretty much landing in Costa Rica, which is where most of my family lives. I was brought up in Italy, but my family, both my parents are from Costa Rica, which is a country in Central America. And I am going to be there for a few days visiting mum and everyone else. And I always like to make a few things to take as presents. It's always quite a mad dash, I'll be honest. But I thought it'd be interesting to show you the kinds of things that I've made, as it might give you ideas of what you can sew for your loved ones that don't require too much time to make, don't require too much fabric to make, and are mostly non-garments, so you don't have to worry about fit. So hopefully it will be a fun vlog for you to watch and one to maybe save for future reference, maybe when Christmas comes around or you've got someone's birthday around the corner. Most of them are very quick makes, so I think it's a good array of sewing patterns. But before I get going with that, let me show you what I'm wearing. This is a Sew Over It Natalia dress. I work at Sew Over It. I always say it, disclaimer, I love the patterns, obviously. So you'll see me chat about Sew Over It quite a lot today, actually, looking around. But yeah, the Natalia dress is very cool. It's got these elastic channels for the shaping. I've got pockets, of course. I've got the bow back version, but there's a plain version as well. Made it a couple of times, really like this pattern, perfect for summer. It's really lovely. I'll put up a picture of or a video so you can see the full length effect. But yes, very, very nice in a cotton. This cotton was from Sew Me Sunshine last year, I think. Really cool print. I love it. But let's stop talking about makes for me and let's start talking about makes for others. I'm going to start with this beauty that is hanging here. So if you watched my Stitch Festival haul from the beginning of the year, it was my first vlog. I'll link to it below. I bought a lot of stuff and I'm chipping away at it, at that haul, gradually. But I am getting around to sewing everything. So that's always a positive. So this fabric was from Rosenberg and Sons, something like that. I'll link below or something, but it's a bamboo fabric, which I've not come across before. It looks and feels like silk. And obviously the print. Can we talk about the print? Frida Kahlo in many versions. I love Frida Kahlo. I love her art. I love her story, her life. She is one of the most colorful people that I can think of, and I love color. If you've been watching for a while, you'll know that. I bought a couple of fabrics from that stall, both bamboo, both Frida Kahlo themed. One was definitely for me, and I haven't got round to sewing that one yet, but I have a plan vaguely. The other one, this one, I knew that I wanted to earmark to make something for my mum for when I next went to visit her. She loves color as well, as she loves Frida Kahlo as well. So I thought this would be really perfect for her. But I thought about it for ages, thinking of what I could make that would really, really show off this fabric. And because it's so beautiful and it's quite a large scale print, I really didn't want to make something too fussy where the design, the print would be too interrupted. So I looked through all my patterns, as I do on Stash Hub, which is my favorite organizer app. I'll put a link below so you can get a code to get a free month of Stash Hub Plus if you use my code. I love it. Honestly, can't recommend it enough. But I was looking through all my patterns thinking, oh, which one is going to be perfect for this kind of fabric? And actually a few people had suggested making some kind of jacket or some layering piece. And yes, I settled on the Sew Over It Sylvia robe, and it was perfect. I mean, if you just look at the back panel, it's just this one gigantic panel. uninterrupted, perfect. And the front is quite a long panel as well. There's no waist seam. So it's worked really well. I'm very, very pleased with this. And at some point I'll take pictures of mum in it, but I won't have them by the time this vlog comes out yet. But I might put it in a short or somewhere. You will get to see it. So I have mum's measurements, which helps. But also, I think this one is it's an easy pattern because you don't really need to fit it too much. So I just went by the bust measurement. I know there's a lot of ease in the pattern, so I didn't have to worry too much about it. Now, I only had 2 meters of this fabric, and I'm quite proud of the fabric Tetris that I played because the pattern, the Sylvia robe, does require quite a lot more. But I got clever to be able to squeeze it out of those 2 meters. I don't even think it was that wide either. But what I did is I prioritized cutting the body. So the back and the front panels, those were my priority. And then I thought, I can change the length of the sleeves or something. I can piece the neckband piece together, for example. I just thought I could get round to those other bits in some way or another. So the front and back pieces fit perfectly. And then I cut the sleeves. I pieced them together, basically. There's a seam going down the middle, but you wouldn't really know because it's such a busy print. I really don't mind. I also made sure that the faces would be facing the right way, if that makes sense, because I think the pattern piece said to cut it this way, but I wanted Frida to be facing the right way on the edge of the sleeve. So I did that, managed to cut both sleeves in 2 pieces each, pieced them together and then sewed them up, and that was completely fine. And then I did not have enough to make the original width of the neckband. So the original is it's maybe double of that. Maybe not double, but it is a bit wider. I just had to make a little sacrifice, but I think it's fine. So it's a narrower band and it is cut into 3 pieces. Usually it's 2 pieces that you stitch together. I just made it into 3, but it's fine, honestly. And it's done a very nice little edging. I'm very happy with that. And yeah, this came together so quickly, honestly, one evening, from cutting and sewing and finishing, perfect. And the fabric, I was a little bit worried because it's mostly bamboo, maybe some viscose as well, and then a little bit of polyester. So I was worried it might be tricky to press, but it was completely fine. I just did it on a low setting. I think I did it on the silk setting. It's not silk, but I tested on a little bit of scrap fabric. I tested various settings and that one seemed to give me enough of a press without doing anything bad to the fabric. And then the only other thing I changed was I added a little hoop. I love adding these. When I don't add them to this is an outerwear, but to things that you might take off and hang up rather than a dress or a top, I always like to add a little hook so you can pop it on something without stretching out the neckline. And when I don't do that, it really frustrates me. I get frustrated at myself, but I remembered this time. So I just trapped it under the neckband. Then I added an Almita made label. I cut these out on iron-on vinyl using my Cricut Joy machine, and I've put them in all of these makes. So I'll show you the different ones. So this one is a flock one. It's like a little bit furry and it's in red, which I think goes very nicely. And I do like to put my signature, especially when it's a gift. I try not to put it anywhere too in your face, but I do like the idea that the person that I've given the gift to is, when they take it off or when they use the gift, as we get to the others, they will remember that it was made with a lot of love from me. So I do like to sign my pieces of art. This one I would say qualifies as a piece of art. Beautiful. Let me just try and put it on a little bit just to give you the idea. It's basically one of those things that is going to enhance any simple outfit. Obviously on this dress it does not work, but imagine if I was just wearing a plain dress. Never gonna happen, but with mum, if she's wearing maybe jeans and a t-shirt, put this on, it's wow, isn't it? Look at this. I love it so much. So yeah, very, very happy with this one. And this would probably well, it's not the most involved make of the ones that I'm going to show you. It actually isn't. It's simpler than some of the others, but it's the biggest, I guess. So, because it's a garment, it was the one that required the most fabric. But as I said, I managed to squeeze this out of a 2-meter piece. Very, very happy about that. Next up is this beauty, which I was so tempted to keep, but I've made it for one of my aunties. I've got many aunties, lots of them are getting a present. So this is the Sew Over It Boxy Toiletries bag. I love this pattern. So big. It can be a bag for anything, really. I want to make myself, well, I've made myself a mini one to keep my small knitting projects in. I do want to make a full-size one that can fit maybe a little bit of a bigger knitting project. It's perfect for that. But I have made this one as a toiletries bag with that in mind. Whether she decides to use it for that or for something else, I don't mind. But the inside is a waterproof canvas. So for toiletries, I thought that will be a nice little practical addition for the lining. The outside is a block print cotton from Rainbow Fabrics, and it's a very thin cotton. What I decided to do was to quilt it using some wadding. So I've got lines of stitching going down the lovely tigers, and it's made it a little bit spongy. And between the quilting and the waterproof canvas on the inside, it's really given the bag a proper boxy structure, as the name suggests. So I'm really happy with that. And I love the little tabs. So cool. And it's so big, you can fit so much in there, like proper bottles of shampoo and that kind of thing, you know, not just the minis. So I love that. And this particular aunt does travel quite often, so I thought that would be very handy. And let me show you the label on this one. There it is. I went for neon pink for this. And yes, it's there. I didn't want to put it like on the front. I thought I'd put it on the side. You don't really see it in passing, but you know, she might see it every now and then and remember it was made by me. So there it is. I love this. Oh, and the fabric, this was a little remnant from my Courtney jumpsuit sample, the Sew Over It pattern that came out this week. So really, really nice. Very good present, this. Also, it's the kind of bag that, yes, you could make for anyone. You could make for holding, I don't know, obviously knitting, any other craft, any embroidery stuff. It would be nice to hold in this, but also, I don't know, electrical cables, whatever. It could be for anyone. So the next one was actually a request. I don't get requests very often, but I thought I would oblige because it made me smile. I'd made another auntie, I'd made her a Sew Over It bum bag, which is one of the patterns from the City Set bag collection. This is one of the patterns I've made the most as gifts because it's perfect for anyone. And I think it's not super easy. It's a little bit tricky. There's a zip involved and hardware, but you know, it's easy enough that I can make one in an evening for sure. And this particular auntie, I'd made her a bum bag years ago. And she messaged me earlier this year to let me know that she'd left the bum bag in a hotel and she was devastated because she uses it every day and how much she'd love it. And would I consider making her another one? So of course I said yes. And so I made her a navy canvas one, which is what the original was in. I managed to find some remnant, I think, of navy canvas, which is great. And then on the inside, which is my favorite thing when I sew bags, I put a really fun lining, which is little lemons. This is a cotton. Let me show you the label in this one. Oh yes, I've gone multicolor for this one, multicolor and shiny. There it is. And I decided to put it, so as you wear the bum bag, let me show you. Ooh, there it is. So as you wear it, I've put it on the inside here so that when she's wearing it, when she opens it, she sees Almita Made, which I thought was cute. A cute placement of the label. It's got a really nice metal zip with a cute puller. I just had these in my stash. I went through a phase of making a lot of these, so I have all of the bits stocked up basically. And yeah, just some webbing. It's a very handy little bag. I have a few and I use them all the time. It's just perfect for all your essentials. So that's bum bag number one. Now another auntie, I'd made her one at the same time as that one. And basically what happened is that my cousin, her daughter, liked it a lot and swiped it from her. So when that auntie was asking me to make her another one because she'd lost hers, she was like, "Oh, and you know, my sister has been taken from from your cousin. So why don't you, if you can, could you make her another one?" She would never ask, but could you make her another one? So I did. Now that one, the original was green, I think, and I did not have any more green canvas, unfortunately. But I have this, which is a remnant that I bought at the Stitch Festival as well from Bornella Fabrics, which I made my little boxy toiletries bag out of, and I still have a few little bits of it. It's great. Remnants of canvas and denim are ideal. Just grab them whenever you see them because you will be able to squeeze out some kind of bag from them. So that's my top tip of the day. But yes, this is a stripy denim. I love it. It feels really nice quality. I really love it. And on the inside, I looked through my stash of cottons because I think cotton is the ideal lining option for the bum bag. And I found this one, which I'd kind of forgotten about. I only had a very small piece left, but let me turn it inside out so you can see it because it's gorgeous. I can't even remember where I bought this, but it's basically mimicking a sort of porcelain decoration, but in ochre, which is unusual. Usually you see it in blue. I just love it. And there's a bird there somewhere. Let me see if I can find him. Yes, look at him. So cute. Look, little birdie. I love this print. And it was a small piece that I had left that just fit the lining pieces for this. I was very chuffed. I love to use up all the fabric, basically. I don't like throwing it away. So that fulfilled its destiny. It's the same metal zip with this cute puller. Love that. And again, webbing, gold. I should have said on the other one as well, I used gold hardware, which is what I had on hand. And yeah, love it. And again, I put the label on the side that you see when you open it if you're wearing it. And we've gone sparkly for this one as well. There it is. So yeah, very chuffed with that. So requests fulfilled, I'm glad. Now, the next one is another bag that I'm going to show you. This is not sew over it for once. This is the Costa tote, which is a Helen's Closet free sewing pattern. I think I've had it for years, but I think you get it for free when you sign up to her newsletter. And it's a really good, enough of a twist on a tote bag that it makes it interesting to sew and to use. But very, very simple. It comes together very easily. And it doesn't require a huge amount of fabric, although I did have to get a bit clever cutting it out with the remnant that I had. So this is for another auntie, you guessed it. And basically, oh, it's so good. It's such a good size. I think like everyone loves a tote bag, don't they? And this one is made in it's a canvas that I had left over from making myself some dungarees, I think. I'll put the picture up. Oh yeah, partner overalls, that's it. I love this print. Sort of celestial bodies. Oh, it's really cool. Basically, it's a tote bag with a flat bottom, which I love. Always like that as a detail. And then you've got the option to add pockets. Now, I decided to just add one pocket to the front, one pocket piece, I should say, because you then stitch it in the middle and you get two pockets. Very handy. So I decided to add, usually you cut the whole body in one. I cut it into two pieces. One, because I couldn't fit it in the fabric, but two, because I have a directional fabric. So I wanted the sun's faces to be the right way up. So I cut it into two pieces, just added seam allowance at the bottom, sewed them together. And then I decided to add just one pocket piece to the front of the bag. And then if I turn this inside out, you'll see that I used another pocket piece on the inside. So she's got pockets on the outside and the inside. And inside, I've just used a dark green cotton poplin that I had in my stash. I thought a plain. I didn't want to do double print because this is quite busy already. So I decided to put the plain on the inside. And again, I've put the label on the inside as she would open the bag. So the front of the bag officially is the one with the pockets. And when she opens up the bag, there's my little Almita Made label in lilac this time. I like that. So one thing I love about this bag, I haven't made it in so long. I made it quite a lot at the start when it first came out. I made it so much for myself and as gifts. And one thing I'd forgotten that I really like is that you don't need to do any hand stitching to close up the lining. So with most bags, you have to do that the way that all of these are constructed, and most bags that I've sewn, you have to at some point use some hand stitching to close it up. And one, I don't love hand stitching, but it's not just that. I don't love my hand stitching, I feel, is not as strong as machine stitching. I'm sure if you're very good at it, it's just as sturdy. Mine isn't. So there's always something I feel with a bag lining that I'm like, oh, I hope it holds up, basically, because I don't want things to get lost inside there. This one, you don't need to do any hand stitching. It's all constructed in a way that you close it up at the top, basically, with some top stitching. Bob's your uncle or your auntie in this case. But yes, love this bag, and I think it's so practical. It's, you know, it's a print. There's lots going on, but it's grey and cream, so I think it's, you know, it's not too loud. And as a bag, I think you can get away with a little bit of print on it. Really love it, really practical. And that is it for bags. Now, the last things I'm going to show you, these are from my grandma, who lives with mum, and she's a lovely lady. She used to embroider a lot. She's, you know, she was amazing with her hands. She doesn't anymore. It's a different stage of life. But basically, I was thinking, I always try and think of what I can make her. In the past, I've made different things, like, I know it sounds ridiculous because it's Costa Rica and it's really hot, but I have knitted her a blanket, because sometimes during the year it does get a little bit chillier. No one has heating because it's something quite new, actually, that it gets a bit chillier. So grandma gets cold. So I have knitted her a blanket that does come out a few times a year, and she's very happy with that. And I've made different things over the years, but then I remembered that one thing that I made years ago, and every time I go back I see that she uses it all the time, is an adult bib. So this is something that's part of life if you get to a certain stage of life. But I think it's a sweet thing to sew if you have any elderly relatives. I think it's a very sweet thing to make in a pretty fabric, because, you know, you can buy lots of adult bibs that are maybe not as cheery. So I decided to make her one using this fabric that I had left. I had very little of it, so this one is a shorter one, but it's such a pretty floral that I'm sure grandma's going to appreciate. It's a cotton lawn, really soft, very washable. Everything's cotton, so it can be washed 1,000 times and it's all good. I have no idea where this pattern came from because I got it years ago. I went through my emails trying to find the name. I have no idea where I found it. But there are lots of adult bibs if you do a search. I'm pretty sure this pattern was free when I got it. But it's a very simple shape. You could probably also just draft one, but do a little search. There'll be patterns out there. But basically, it's very simple. It's just main fabric, lining. You cut those two, sew them together, and right sides together, turn it around, top stitch to close the gap, and neaten everything. And that's it. This is the shape, and then you add a popper. You could add Velcro. I had poppers of different colors, as you can see, but there you go. Voila, that's cute. It's a useful thing that made in a pretty fabric will bring a little bit of joy to meal times, I think. So this one was the first one, and I made a shorter version because I did not have enough of this floral fabric, but I had my heart set on it for grandma. It's actually pieced together as well. There's a seam in there, but it's so busy that you don't even know it. But I just had my heart set on using that fabric, so I made it work. And then the second one I love because it's made in this is actually a tablecloth fabric that I bought in Costa Rica last year, and I've made a few bags in it. And I still had a little bit left. I think I still have a tiny bit still that I could make something else out of. But anyway, it's basically a tablecloth, a gingham tablecloth with lots of dishes and lemons and lavender. And I just thought that's really fun for a bib. And then I used the light's very weird, but it's a beige, there you go, that you can see it, a beige and white gingham for the back. And again, popper there. But I'm just happy with my pattern placement with this one. I'll show you. There it is. It's a plate in the middle. And you know, the bib is to be used at mealtimes. So it just made sense to have a dish in the middle of it. This really made me smile making it. It's those little things, like those personal touches. Like you probably can't buy a bib that looks as cute as this. So yeah, that's my little gifts for grandma. And that concludes this recent makes gift edition. I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit stressful to get it all done before I flew away. It's stress that I could have avoided by starting way earlier, but you know how we do, you know how we are. But even so, I did manage to get it all done in time over a few evenings, so it wasn't too time consuming. And I do think that bringing a handmade gift makes a big difference rather than just buying lots of stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this vlog. I've got lots of videos up already, many more to come. If you're already subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for that. If you enjoy my content, do consider buying me a coffee. The link is below. And if you can't do that, that's absolutely fine. Just give me a big thumbs up and recommend this channel to anyone you know that enjoys long chats about making. It's mostly sewing, but I do talk about knitting every now and then as well, and other bits and bobs. But that's it from me today. Until I see you again, keep making, keep chatting about making, and I'll see you next time with a very fruity vlog. Bye. But it is a bit wider.